Kia ora koutou katoa, ko PJ toku ingoa. Hi guys, my name's PJ and I'm an educator at Auckland Zoo. Now myself and some friends from the conservation learning team are getting to know some of the momo takitaki of Aotearoa. Today, we're learning all about the taraiti, or the New Zealand fairy tern. So stay tuned and join us to learn some fun, simple ways that you can be creative kaitiaki of our natural world and just get to know this really awesome manu. First of all, let's go check in with Cornell to learn how to pronounce fairy tern properly in Te Reo Māori.
Ngā mihi PJ, and kia ora tātou katoa. The Māori name for fairy tern is taraiti. Ta, ra, I, ti. Taraiti. Tara meaning tern, and iti meaning small. Small tern. Fairy tern. Back to you, PJ.
Kia ora, hi again. I'm going to show you how to draw a taraiti in a few really easy steps. All you need is a few coloured markers, crayons or pencils. Today the colours that I've chosen are a pale grey, a darker grey, yellow, orange, pale blue and a couple of little black liners. But you can be creative and use anything you like. Alrighty, let's get started. First up, take your palest grey colour because we're going to use this to sketch out the base shapes. Start with an oval for the body and a small circle for the head. Then add two lines under the head to make a triangle shape for the beak. To do the wings, we're going to add a bigger triangle above the body, mapping it out with dots first, like this. Then draw a slightly curved line to join up the wing to the body. And then we're going to add the second wing in behind that. Again, using the three dots to map out the shape, just like this. You can join up the head and the body with two short curved lines, and then another two curved lines back here with a zigzaggy edge for the tail. Then with the same colour I can just tidy up the base shape, add in an eye, and some lines into the tail. Taraiti have a black patch of huruhuru or feathers on their head and their neck, so we can map this out with the same colour. You want to curve from the shoulder just under the eye and then squiggle it back so it doesn't quite touch the beak at the front of the face. Then we can add a bumpy line to the edge of each wing to make it look like feathers. And once you've done that, you can use the same grey colour to fill in that entire back wing. And then just add some teeny little areas of shading under the front wing, under the neck, and under the tail. Next step, let's add some colour. So take your yellow and we're going to fill in the ngutu, or the beak. Then take your orange and give your taraiti some legs, ready for landing. I'm never too precise with this part. Next, we want a darker colour to help define and shade some areas. So for this part, just think about where the light might come from and where there could be some shadows. This really helps by giving your taraiti some dimension and almost making it look 3D. And then you just go along the edge of the wings, defining those feathers even more. Now the reason we're just using greys for all of this is because most of the bird is white, and we can't really colour the bird in white. Last part is to fill in the head marking. So take a black pen and carefully fill in that area you marked out earlier. This black cap is one of the most defining features of the taraiti, so it is important that you do it slowly, trying to make the black line smooth but also curvy and not letting it touch the front of the face around the beak. If the black marker does touch the beak, or the line is too sharp, it can very quickly turn into a totally different species of tern. Remember, we are trying to draw the taraiti, the New Zealand fairy tern. Okay, let's tidy everything up and finish off our taraiti by outlining everything with a fine black marker. This is my favourite part of any drawing, and you should see why. It starts to make your art really pop off the page and separate all the different body parts. You can add some small details like an eye or a nostril as well. With the feathers, I do it a little bit rough, not being too exact. Then I like to use an extra fine marker to add some texture to the feathers. You can do tiny little squiggles, you could do dots, lines, or a mixture of all of those, whatever you feel. And there's one more thing. Before you finish, get out your blue pen because we can give our tara iti some kai. What you can do is do a little oval or a leaf shape with a little heart-shaped tail to make an ika or a fish. Then use the grey to shade it. Use the black to outline it. And give it an eye and some gills as well, if you like. And voila! That is how you draw a fairy tern, or a tara iti. Please do share your masterpiece online with the hashtag createwithaucklandzoo. Over to you, Catherine.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Ko Catherine toko ingoa. Hello everybody, my name is Catherine and I'm one of the conservation learning facilitators at Auckland Zoo. I hope that you've enjoyed learning about how to draw our beautiful tara iti or fairy tern. For our next activity related to the tara iti, we're going to be creative kaitiaki using our words. So I'm going to show you a few photographs and some clips of the tara iti in their habitat. Your challenge is to brainstorm some amazing ideas about this manu or bird.
So to give you a hint, these could be descriptive words, what we call adjectives, or even a phrase like a simile that compares the bird to something else. Write down any ideas that come to mind. Really get your creativity flowing. Feel free to pause the video to take your time and look at the photos more closely while you're brainstorming all of your brilliant ideas.
I hope you enjoyed seeing those beautiful images and clips of the special tara iti. I know I did. I'm sure you come up with amazing words and phrases about this very special manu or bird. So now it's time for the next step. We're going to do some creative writing using the brainstorm ideas that you just came up with. There are many different ways that we could write about the tara iti. Maybe we'd like to create a short story, and this could be fiction, so based on things from your imagination, or it could be non-fiction, based on real facts that we've learnt about the tara iti. Maybe you'd like to come up with a poem or a special song, maybe even a rap. If you are stuck for ideas, you can follow along with me as I create an acrostic poem about our special little tara iti. Otherwise, if you're ready to go with your brainstormed ideas, you can give it a go writing your own creative writing right now.
Alright, creative kaitiaki, now we're going to have a go at creating an acrostic poem about the tara iti. These are super fun, and you can easily create your own poem about this special manu, or you can write one about any other animal that you love. First, we will write the letters down the side of the page, just like this. You can use either the English name of the bird, that's fairy tern, or the te reo name for this manu, which is tara iti. You can even try it out using both, like I'm doing here. Next, we're going to use all the amazing ideas we've brainstormed earlier to fill in our poem. Take a look at all the words and phrases you came up with and see if you can write something for each letter. If you have any gaps, you can come back and work them out later, using the words you've already filled in as inspiration. Remember that you can use words, sentences, or a combination of both to complete each letter of your amazing acrostic poem. Now, the wonderful thing about poems is that even though we're all writing about the same animal, each of our poems will be different. How amazing is that?
Ka pai tamariki mā. I'd really love to read some of your amazing creative writing. So if you'd like, you could share some of your amazing stories or your poems with us, either by emailing us or by sharing it with us on social media using the hashtag createwithaucklandzoo. Maybe you'd like to ask an adult to help you with that last part. I hope you've had lots of fun being creative kaitiaki with us so far. Now, we're going to check in with Patrick to hear what's happening with tara iti in the wild. Until next time, ka kite anō.
Kia ora, ko Patrick toko ingoa. I'm using these really cool pretend binoculars to look for the very rare tara iti, the New Zealand fairy tern. You can sometimes find them hovering right above the water before they dive to get their food, which is usually little tiny fish or shrimp. They can be quite tough to find because they're so small. They're about 25 centimeters long and also only 70 grams. That's almost the weight of a tennis ball, making them really difficult to notice and even more difficult to see their nests. Unfortunately, there are only about 40 adults alive today. The reason why they're in this trouble is because they lay their eggs on low-lying sand or shell banks, making them quite vulnerable to storms, disturbance by cars on the beach, or even just humans or dogs walking in the area. But what is being done to help them? For several years, Auckland Zoo has incubated tara-iti eggs when nests were in danger of flooding, usually returning the eggs to the nest once the danger was past. However, last year, our bird team hatched a healthy chick at the zoo, successfully hand-raised it, and in collaboration with the Department of Conservation, released it back into the wild. How awesome is that? If we can continue these amazing conservation stories, we can give the tara-iti the best possible chance for survival, so they're here for a really long time. By coming to the zoo, some money from your entry ticket goes towards our conservation fund, so that wild work projects just like this can help endangered animals just like the tara-iti and habitats like the one behind me. And the next time you're at the beach, you too can be Kaitiaki for tara-iti by staying away from those fenced-off areas where there might be nests, staying on designated paths, bringing any rubbish with you home from the beach, and even walking your dog on a leash or lead. Hope you learned something today. I'm going to go for a walk now. Back to you, PJ. Come on, Gerard.
Ka pai Kaitiaki ma. Thanks for joining us today to get a bit crafty and have a kōrero about tara-iti. Now, as always, we'd love to see all your creations, so upload it to our website, or even on Instagram or Facebook, maybe with Mum and Dad's help, using the hashtag createwithaucklandzoo. And we'll see you at the zoo soon. Ka kite.